I'd like to introduce you today to a topic that we are very passionate about at AustinMD, and that's the importance of the health of your gastrointestinal system or GI system or your gut health, right? And the reason we're so passionate about that here is literally if we can heal the gastrointestinal system, which really is the seat of our health, we can help control so many of the chronic conditions that are plaguing us today. It's interesting that Hippocrates, way back in 400 BC, he's the father of medicine, said all disease begins in the gut. And that is truly amazing if you think about it. Now, with modern medicine and testing and imaging equipment, we have completely proven that Hippocrates nailed it back in 400 BC. So we now know that over 70% of our immune system resides right in our gut. As a result, our gut and our immune system work intricately in a coordinated manner to protect us and keep out pathogens and toxins and things that could harm us, right? And it's really important that we have an intact membrane there in that gut. Now we know like gut disturbances, right? Like constipation, diarrhea, gas, right? And so many people are plagued by that, and we see them in the clinic every day. But what most people do not realize is having an unhealthy GI system also leads to things like autoimmune disease, fatigue, headaches, stress, and depression. One of the reasons it leads to stress and depression is many of our neurotransmitters that create things like serotonin and dopamine, our feel-good chemicals, also reside in the gut. So just another reason to have a healthy gut. Alessio Fasano, who is a Harvard researcher who's been doing research on the gut and the microbiome for over 30 years, has a saying, and he says, the gut is not like Las Vegas. What happens in the gut does not stay in the gut. Now, the microbiome is this collection of healthy microorganisms that actually benefit us, and we live in a symbiotic relationship with them. And we need to have what I call the microbiome or the gut garden. We want to have that in balance, right? And having our lifestyle in balance, having a healthy diet with lots of fiber and not taking in foods that have pesticides and chemicals in them, that will harm our gut garden, right? So if we want to take a look at the image on the screen, you'll see how Alessio Fasano's statement about the gut is not like Las Vegas, what happens in the gut does not stay in the gut, is very well illustrated here. On the left, you see the cells of the gastrointestinal system. They're healthy, they're close together, and we have what we call tight junctions. And what that means is it's a good defense, right? Only the nutrients and the good compounds that are supposed to get into our body may enter when there's an intact, healthy membrane there. To the right of the screen, you see the cells are separated, they're worn down, and what causes this, again, is modern American life. We're eating processed, chemical-laden food with pesticides. We're stressed out. Stress really compromises the health of our immune system. What happens now is our defense is breached, right? So pathogens and chemicals and food particles that are too large should not be entering our bloodstream, get in, and we see that this membrane is really just 1 cell thick. That is 1 millimeter. That's all that's separating the outside world from us. So very important that that membrane be as healthy as possible. We also want to make sure that that gut garden is balanced because those healthy cells are also protecting us. If you look at the bottom of the cell membrane there, that's our bloodstream, right? So lined up right there in the bloodstream is our immune system. So on that right side where all of these foreign compounds are entering that should not enter, our immune system mounts a response to that. It's an attack, right? And our immune system wants to protect us. But what happens, since it's chronic and it goes on, is, as in any war, if you will, there's a lot of collateral damage in our bodies. And again, this is what actually leads to the immune system imbalances, autoimmune, and all of the chronic conditions that we mentioned a little bit earlier. Here at AustinMD, functional medicine trained practitioners know how to use advanced testing that actually can test to see if you have a leaky gut, and it can test your microbiome to see if it is balanced or if you have what we call dysbiosis, which means we have an overgrowth of certain bacteria and not enough of another, right? Because they all have their own specific role in our bodies to help us, and we want to make sure all the players are on the field, if you will. Once we have the results of this testing and looking at your lifestyle, we then get together as a team and we formulate an individualized plan for you to heal that gut and get your microbiome gut garden back in balance so it can do what it's supposed to do, keep you as healthy as possible.